So this is a variety by row spacing trial, and it's one of many trials we've done as part of the Sugar Yield Decline joint venture. I suppose what we've found that over a whole range of row spacings we've virtually come to the same yield endpoint. So I suppose the positive of that is it enables us to go to controlled traffic row spacings, which generally are, over the standard 5'6" type rows, going to 6 foot or 1.83 or wider. But what we've found amongst the configurations is once we put cane in dual rows, if a variety has a propensity to lodge, that it will always lodge first in our dual row configurations. Between a 1.8 single and say a 1.8 dual row configuration, we'll get to the same yield endpoint, but with the single rows we end up with fewer stalks but larger, heavier stalks, whereas the dual model we end up with more stalks, but each of those stalks are lighter. So lighter stalks, once fed through a cane harvester, has the potential to have increased harvest losses. And in a situation like this, this is a 2 metre dual with rows 800 apart. Without GPS guidance, you'd be flat out trying to work out where you should be harvesting here. You can see everything's falling down, and as the crop lodges, we start getting a fair bit of suckering occurring. So if we start getting suckering, well, that has a negative effect on CCS as well. So whilst we're getting to the same yield endpoint, there are some interactions that are happening that will have an effect on profitability. Yeah, so this is a 1.8 metre dual rows with a variety Q188, which is an erect variety, and stayed up reasonably well. So this is duals again, but this is 205 on 1.8 metre duals. And it's a variety that tends to be a bit lazy. It's a fair mess in dual rows. And another thing we've noticed, that once a variety has fallen over, the rats and foxes tend to get into it. And you can see over here we've got rat damage. So obviously that's going to be a CCS negative effect as well. So this is Q222 on the 1.8 metre singles, which we saw before in the 2 metre duals was, flat on the ground. Whilst it's not pretty here, it's still a lot better off than where we were in the dual model. And all our data shows us we've got fewer stalks here, but they're heavier as well. And we haven't grown a shabby crop here. So we've got a pretty good data set now between, essentially at this site we've got 5 row configurations. We've got a 1.5 metre single, a 1.8 metre single, a 1.8 metre dual with rows that are 500 mil apart, a 2 metre dual rows 800 apart. All of those have been whole stalk planted with a conventional opener. And the 5th row configuration we've got is a 1.8 metre single, but a wide throat billet planted, which is commercially applicable. And we've overlaid that with 4 varieties, Q138, Q188, 205 and 222. At the end of the day, it's shown that the shift to control traffic row spacings doesn't cause a yield penalty at all.